What does bodybuilding cost? It's costing me a ton at work, a ton in my burdening my life. There's a lot of cost, but the upside is potentially really cool. It just has to be a lot of cost paid consistently to have a high probability of that upside. I'm switching gears for a very logically compelling reason. I don't like it, but I have to do it. What's up, folks? Mike here. It's July 17th, and I just did a show about a week and a half ago, the Masters Universe, and in about half a week, so today is a Wednesday, this coming Monday, I'll have a bunch of photo and video shooting to do for RP, just to get stuff for thumbnails, commercials and stuff like that. And that's what's going on with me. But so I'm gonna just training, kind of regular training here, not super high volume because I can't accumulate too much fatigue for the photo shoot coming up, which is a little lame, but I'm gonna train and do push and do some chest, some triceps, then some shoulders and biceps, and do a little bit of posing, snap a couple pics, should look okay. And I will tell you guys why I'm leaving the competitive bodybuilding scene for a little while. How long will be a mystery. Yeah, on that note, probably when I decide to come back to compete, probably in a few years, I very likely just will tell almost no one and just show up to a show. I very much don't like to announce my competing for two reasons. One is that I just haven't been so good at competing. I was okay at it once, maybe twice. And the other times I kind of just didn't put together something on stage that I'm super proud of, God, that doesn't look that great. I knew for most of the shows, I knew backstage. I was like, that fuck. So I don't like to announce my shows because we're not super good at something. Announcing that you're gonna do another round of it is fucking weird, as far as I can tell. Even though I'm famous or whatever the fuck now, I don't think it matters when I compete because I'm not that good. So I just almost certainly will never announce it. And the other reason is from a practical perspective, especially when you have enough people who have your number, enough people who have your DMs, which is all good. If you announce that you're gonna do something, you get inundated with just unbelievable amounts of text. 99% of them completely well-meaning, and probably 90% of them completely superfluous, just noise. And so that's why I didn't talk a ton about competing this time. I just talked about getting in shape, but not a ton about competing. And then I just competed, not successfully, but we can talk about that and talk about why I made the decision shortly thereafter to postpone the competition side of bodybuilding. But don't you worry, I will still be training to be super, super jacked, but just with fewer steroids. So let's go warm up for the chest press, and I'll talk you through some of the kind of ways I made the decision. I'll tell you guys this. First of all, thank you for following and watching and shit like that. The second of all, you can't rely on me for a lot of shit. I'm not that good at a lot of shit, but you will get the fucking real deal from me. I will tell you how I'm feeling. I will tell you why I made a decision. And if it comes off kind of really? That's the reason? That's lame. I probably agree with you. But very, very difficult for me process right now to do what is logically the correct thing to do based on my analysis versus what I want to do, versus what in my soul I want to do. I'm choosing the logical path because I refuse to look back on my life 10 years from now and go, what the fuck was I thinking? Absolutely not. If I pride myself on anything, it is my ability to think a little bit into the future and make a little bit of a plan. But that putting away your soul in order to prioritize logic, it hurts. I don't like it. I don't like doing it. But I'll do what you gotta do. So let's warm up, and I'll talk you guys through the logic of why I'm pulling away from competition for a while, what I'm gonna do next with my physique and my drugs and all that stuff. So juicy gossip ensues. It's just Scott and the camera. We're good. Oh, and all of you guys, the public. All right, let's warm up. All right, folks. Atlantis incline press, first exercise. I'm gonna have a warm up here, probably of about 10 to 12 reps. You're gonna notice that I'm taking a lot of time at the bottom, which I think is very, very good for muscle growth. And so I'm gonna settle in real deep, chest out, shoulders back, wide grip. You guys notice that I spend lots of time here opening up the chest. Now, I'm not trying to open it up. I'm just sitting there and the weight is opening up the chest for me. It's an excellent eccentric contraction at some of the deepest stretch positions while the muscle is in a very active and strong state. And that's really, really good, because it checks a crap load of our boxes for muscle growth, which is really good. So let's see, that was 125 for 12. I'm gonna do 185, probably for about 6. I'm pretty warm already. That 12 at 125, because of that slow eccentric at the bottom, it's as much warm up, kind of body temperature raising and time with tension that probably 2 regular warm-up sets would be. So I'm gonna do 1 set at 185, then I'm gonna come down to 165, and I am gonna try to go for a nice big rep PR. I'm pretty well hydrated. I'm got a little dehydrated for my show. I rehydrated since, took a few days. And now I feel decent. I'm as strong as ever, I guess the strongest I've ever been. I'm the most muscular I've ever been. And yeah, I'm probably about the leanest I've ever been, or at least very, very close. So it's kind of cool to be in unequivocally my all-time best shape at age 40, I might add. And that's pretty gnarly. That's pretty cool. I gotta be down with that. And it is at this peak of my physical bodybuilding or hypertrophy sort of lifetime physique that I have to switch gears. I don't have to switch gears, but I'm choosing to switch gears because it's objectively a good idea. Let me warm up again, another 6 reps here at 185, and we'll chat about some of the reasons why I'm going to be altering my plan on the size game a little bit. All right. Oh, feels pretty good. Just did a warm-up set, 185 for 6. On this machine, I'm gonna do 165 for let's find out how many reps in just a second. But while my body is warming for me, I can clue you guys in on sort of what the situation is. First thing is the show. I was originally planning on hitting Masters Nationals, which is 2 weeks after the Universe show that I actually did. It's coming up in a few days. And then I was gonna hit Masters North Americans in late August. And then I was gonna hit Masters USAs in mid-November to try to see, like, you know, roll the old dice and see how, if I can win something or, you know, some shit like that. And I've done okay at these competitions before. I took 5th once, that wasn't great. I took 2nd once, that was really cool in 2021. And so the show, I took like a little bit too much stuff for peaking. So I increased my tren a little bit. I went from 100 tren a week to 175 for that last week. And then I took and added 5 milligrams of Halo for every day. And I had to stop that through like 5 days of peaking because I became so angry that my cortisol shot up and I was just in a fit of internal rage. And it was like, oh, wow, I can't take this many drugs. It was really, really not fun. The thing is, because I've been prioritizing my bodybuilding for a little bit, I had to reduce substantially how much jiu-jitsu I do, especially jiu-jitsu that's like really focused on hard rolling. And that to me is, I think, so therapeutic to be able to get beat up and beat people up, that if I'm on a ton of gear and I don't have jiu-jitsu, I just become like really mentally unpleasant to be around myself in my own head. So that kind of sucked. And then I peaked, and the whole peaking process wasn't really fun. I wasn't having a lot of fun. I really don't like the peaking process, hardly at all. Maybe because I've lost so much faith in my ability to pull it off properly. Maybe it's because I haven't figured out the formula, or maybe it's because I'm taking it too seriously or something. So I did not enjoy the peaking process, but then it came time to do the tanning thing. And so just like my wife purchased the plane tickets to the show, she purchased hotels, she purchased the show registry, she purchased the tanning, and then let me do my set and tell you what happened with the tanning. Christ. Fuck. So 20 reps at 165, which is an all-time PR. All right. Anyway, where was I? So the tanning. I gotta say the following with a ton of care, because I mean it in a very certain way, and I don't mean it in a very way it could be understood. Let me get a drink real quick, and I'll keep chatting. So there are two parts of bodybuilding. There's the dieting and the training and the drugs, which is my lifestyle. It's just what I do. Huge part of my life. I do it one way or another. I'm always up to something. Unless I'm in active rest, I'm usually not taking a break from bodybuilding. The other part of bodybuilding is what can be termed the pageantry. Posing, skincare, tanning, all that stuff. And I think bodybuilding is a beautiful sport. I think the people that take the pageantry seriously are the best competitors. I think they're doing the right thing. And I think bodybuilding is beyond a sport, it's an art. So I have nothing but good things to say about all that. But for me personally, the pageantry, skincare, tanning, presentation, posing, it's especially the minute sort of tricks. Again, it's a wonderful thing. But for me personally, I couldn't give a flying fuck about it. I'm not actively like, oh, that's right, this is a thing. So what I was trying to do is just outsource at least some of that and just at least get the green check box. So we got tanning done by a tanning company. I won't say them what name they are because that's just not polite. But they under-tanned the living crap out of me, apparently. Again, I look in the mirror, I see a dude who's super tan, and I was like, looks like a bodybuilder to me. But apparently in the stage lights in the universe, as many of you may have seen from the competition photos, I'm like, look like I never tanned. And that's 2 coats of tan. And then the tan girl's prepping me behind the stage just before I went out or whatever. And that was like, I was told it was like 5 or 6 shades too light to be in contention for the first call out. And I had a bunch of people come up, reach out, experts and stuff, and they're like, you're in pretty goddamn good shape. Top 3 kind of shape, but you can't come in with color like this. It's unprofessional and it looks absurd. And so I'd like to blame the tanning company for that, as I would like to think they really flubbed. And the one thing that we paid them for, they under-delivered on, like in a really, really big way. But I'm not gonna do that because it's not true. What's true is I should have taken the initiative to do whatever combination of my own tanning and paid tanning that would get me the color that I need to be on stage, like a true professional would. And in addition to that, I would have given much greater care and time to my posing. I would have taken better care of my skin because you need to prepare your skin for a few weeks, really probably the last week, especially for competition tan and competition everything, because your skin has to be shaved multiple times, exfoliated multiple times, so that it's ready to accept the tan super well. And all that stuff, I just kind of did a minimum effort. Like I showed up shaved, I showed up with a tan, and not much attention to detail. I showed up knowing how to pose. I can pose competently, but for a real, true competitive effort to make all this competition worthwhile, I would have to put in a serious effort into all those things, definitely posing, and then of course all those other things. So I have the situation with bodybuilding where it takes a lot and it costs me a lot. Let me tell you, I'll do a set and I'll tell you about what it's costing me on the other end. Holy crap. That's not a bad pump. All right, so what does bodybuilding cost? So far, we have the costs I haven't been paying attention closely to pageantry, posing, color, shaving, all that other stuff. I put a minimum effort in on that. But for me, bodybuilding prep costs a lot more because I have a certain amount of work that I do for RP. And it's a lot of work. And in order to come in my best attempt at good shape, in the last several weeks before a show, I have to taper that work down significantly so that the overall fatigue can fall and I can look my best. And having to pull back on work like that is a really massive opportunity cost. In addition to that, I have to pull my wife into some stuff. Planning the trips, planning the schedule, purchasing all the stuff, making sure all the flights are planned, hotel, tanning, comically, show registration, etc. I don't live with anyone else. I can't reach my own back. She has to exfoliate. She has to shave my back, most of me. And that plus having to reduce workload, plus having to deal with a reduced ability for fluid intelligence, compassion, communicative ability, which I know I'm sorely lacking in just because of the kind of pretty decent amounts of drugs that I'm on for myself. For the record, my peak dosages for this contest were 800 Masteron per week, 800 milligrams of Masteron, 175 milligrams of Tren, ACE, taken every day, 175 for the week. And for extra, on top of that, it was 100 mgs per day of Anavar, oxandrolone, and only for that last week. This is only last week. Everything else was lower than that, sort of leading up to it. And 5 milligrams of Halo. Now, of course, there's growth hormone and everything in the rotation. That stuff doesn't really bother you a ton. This much gear bothers me a ton. And it really, realistically, impinges on my best ability to do my job at RP, which is helping design and upgrade the apps, helping create all kinds of content for you guys, YouTube videos, books, lectures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we're working on tons of other really cool stuff. So, full-scale approach to bodybuilding that's worth my time and especially my wife's time. She's like a Team USA, like renowned medical doctor. Like she has a real job. She helps with RP. She runs the back end on YouTube. She's launching another big project for RP that I can't talk about right now, but will be out soon. And she's just doing a lot. And so I have to ask a lot of her, and I have to take a lot out of my other priorities in order to do bodybuilding done right. And so I didn't even do that last time. I did like 70% of it. Then a huge realization right after prejudging when I was like, didn't make the top 5. And I was like, okay, so like first, my first thought was, it sucks. On to the next. And then I talked to Jared, my coach, Jared Feather, IFB Pro, and he was like, for this to really work, you have to start liking competition itself, which I don't. Just about everything you can list I don't like about the competition. You have to wake up super early in the morning to get your second coat of tan under the auspices of you relax, right? Like who the fuck's relaxing at 5 in the morning and they wake up fucking tan on them? And then you're supposed to be able to relax backstage. It's really cold. You have to get up in sweats. You just sit there, exist. Basically, you just lay down on the ground, which is fun for everyone. And then they put you in a line and you have to wait like about an hour usually, standing up, trying to pump up. That doesn't really work till you get on stage, and then that happens. And the whole thing takes like, You have to travel to it. The whole thing it's a huge deal. AM, prejudging, night show, the whole thing. And so Jared's like, you're going to have to really like that in order to be good at it, because your cortisol has to fall and your parasympathetic has to be up, and that's how you can display your best body. And you have to do all the pageantry stuff. You got to practice posing. More significantly, you have to get a posing coach. You have to do all the fucking shaving and all the, I don't just mean shaving, I mean very specific kinds of shaving, specific kind of razors, and the tanning lead-in and the exfoliating and all that stuff. Plus having the psychological sides of being on drugs, which for me personally, I'm like, fine, I'll fucking deal with it. But it's kind of annoying when I have to interact with other people and I'm just a kind of girl version of myself. And it's costing me a ton at work and a ton in my burdening my wife. There's a lot of cost, but the upside is potentially really cool. It just has to be a lot of cost paid consistently to have a high probability of that upside. And so I'm full on ready to pay the cost and keep going, but I'm switching gears for a very logically compelling reason. I don't like it, but I have to do it. Let me do a set and I'll tell you guys all about that. Christ almighty. Oh, that's good stuff. 3 sets of that. All right. So I'm done on chest press, 3 sets, 165 for 20, 14, 12. Type that into my upper hypertrophy app, and I'm gonna do some inverted skull crushers. I'm gonna warm up for those, chat you guys through the rest of my BS, and we get going. So I kind of have a cost benefit. The clouds turning gray for the cost benefit kind of materializing. And the cost benefit is on the cost side of bodybuilding is included my reduced ability to do my job. So I do not get paid for bodybuilding. Competing in bodybuilding costs me money, makes me no extra money. I literally pay to do it, but I pay much more for opportunity cost for the work I couldn't do because I was trying to unplug and where I'm just not capable of as high level work when I'm peaking for shows. The other big thing with that is scheduling and calendar. If I'm competing multiple months of the year kind of in succession, I can't travel around, I can't do a ton of collabs. And at this point, I'm getting invited to do all kinds of crazy collabs, huge channels, and continue to compete in bodybuilding would add that major, major downside of missed opportunities in promoting RP and in promoting our YouTube channel, which I think is a real swell place for people to learn how to get jacked and how to get lean and how to get healthy without any BS. That mission to get the channel continue to be going at the highest quality possible and elevate the quality is incredibly, incredibly important to myself and everyone at RP. And it's my job to everyone else at RP that works with us. I mean, there's equity holders. It's my job to do my best job for them and for myself to maximize this opportunity. And so what are the upsides of competing in bodybuilding? I've done it before. It's all old hat to me. So the experience is like, you know, you learn something every time, but not a ton anymore. And if I win, the upside is nice. It's like spirit energy. It's really cool. As far as like actual things that happen if I win, materializable things for the company, for profit stream, it's really just nothing. There's just no positive ROI you can pretend to extract out of me competing in bodybuilding. So this entire time at the company, everyone not kind of knew, but explicitly knew, because I said, like, this is all spirit journey stuff. I'm getting into my early 40s now. It's going to be time to hang up big drug bodybuilding real soon. And so let me take a couple more, 1 or 2 years, get this thing done. And the thing is, I think it was a swell plan. And that 1 or 2 years would be this year and next year. The problem is I did not anticipate, not only at the company anticipated, maybe some of you guys anticipated, but if you've taken a look at our RP YouTube, and the company underneath the hood on the product side is doing the same thing, but we're blowing up like crazy. Wild numbers, subscriber additions, views, watch time, collabs, opportunities to do cool things with Scott and elevate the quality of our channel, bring different kinds of stuff to you, like better versions of expert interviews, better studio, etc. I didn't plan for that shit. Legit. I had no idea. We always try and I say, we'll see what happens. And what happened was like 10 times more insane than we could have predicted. And it's still going, but it's more insane even than it was about a year ago when the insanity started. So there's this incredible opportunity for me to take on a bit of a different lifestyle for some time and really take a huge advantage of this kind of YouTube situation, of the RP situation, and do my very best in providing the highest level of content to everyone that'll make the mistake of listening to me. And so because that is a thing, and everyone I talk to who's close to me was like, real talk? This is the thing. This YouTube thing, this informational comedy, whatever the fuck, ASMR voice shit that I'm doing, that's the thing. And you don't get your 15 minutes of fame a crap load of times. You might get it 0 times, you might get it once. This is that. And everyone around me, including myself, thinks that if we don't try to do a really, really good job, like if someone's like, hey, can you collab? Generally we have to be like, yes. Versus actually it looks like in 7 months is good, which is absurd. We would have to boot people like that if we were serious about this super competitive bodybuilding phase right now. So the competitive bodybuilding where the upside is spirit energy, which is nice. It's super nice. That's why I'm hurting right now, because my spirit's crushed because I can't do this anymore. On the other side, there's the logic of having been able to help literally millions of people with their fitness, make millions and millions of dollars, and gee whiz, that's just by itself a lot, isn't it? The thing is, logically, as a responsibility to my future self, to my wife, to the company, and in a much lower key sense, it's not really a responsibility, but a goodwill gesture to everyone that follows the channel, like, it's just much better when I'm productive and focused on that stuff. And so that means that per logical decision that was made right after that show is I'm moving away for a few years from competing in bodybuilding. That does not mean training for hypertrophy or fat loss. I'll tell you guys about that after I do this warm-up set. But no competing for a few years to really focus on producing the highest level of content at every single intersection of my career that I possibly can. It's the right thing to do. It's the logical thing to do. It's the thing to do that others look to me for, and I'm not going to let them down, just for my own spirit, energy, bullshit, vanity, ego crap. Well, went too many muscle magazines in the early 2000s. So that's flipping the script. My heart hasn't settled on it yet. My brain knows it's the right thing. Let me do a warm-up set, and I'll talk you guys through a bit more of what my shit's going to look like in the future and how I'm dealing with it. If anyone still gives a shit or is remotely tuned in, let's do a set here. So that's the warm-up for inverted skull crushers. It's like a push-up skull crusher combo. I'm gonna do a set of as many as I can here. without any breaks. And I'm gonna breathe a little bit and then do a myo rep match set right after to tie that rep number, but with as many rest breaks as I need. That's gonna be tough. So a minute here, grab a little drink and get going. But Kira, come with me on the drink. Well, actually, I'll be right back. So what is the plan gonna look like? What I'm doing with my own training for the foreseeable future, next few years. Here's what it's gonna look like. I'm very likely gonna come down. So I'm on a total, if you add it all up, of probably around just around 1.2 grams, 1,200 milligrams of anabolic or steroidal compounds per week right now. I was up as high as depending on how you count trends, I don't count trend 1-to-1, I count it 1-to-4. Something like 1.3 to 1.6. Plenty of milligrams. So that's 1,300 to 1,600 that I was on. I'm on 1,200 now. And what am I gonna do? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to modify my leg training substantially and more or less stop training quads and hamstrings for size and continue to train my legs, rework my leg training to train for power and strength in the bottom so I can become better at the wrestling component of jiu-jitsu. I'm a jiu-jitsu brown belt, if you guys don't know that. And so jiu-jitsu is super, super big hobby of mine, super important to me. It's a big deal for me. I've been putting it aside for long enough. It's jiu-jitsu time again. And on the drug side of things, I'm probably gonna come down to about 400 mgs total, which is not much, in the next about half a year, and continue to eat pretty well and not try to blow up or anything like that. And size down, I'm 227 pounds today. I wanna come down to probably somewhere between, I just don't know what that number is gonna be, wherever I'm pretty lean at about 200 to 400 mgs of just testosterone per week. 200 is probably where I'd like to settle. It's high-end TRT. I wanna see how big I can be while still being very lean, clean abs, a few veins. I suspect it's gonna be somewhere between 180 and 200 pounds. We'll see where it lands. By the way, I'm purposefully sloughing off my legs. Oh, and check this out. I'm gonna straight up stop training my calves. I know, they're beautiful. How could I? But I'm gonna more or less stop training my calves completely so that I'm gonna train the living dog shit out of my upper body, especially forearms, biceps, triceps, and shoulders, but tons of chest and back. I'm going to be training my abs for jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna be training my legs super minimally, coming down on my doses, so that I end up being 190 pound, big armed, still quite lean Mike. And then every now and again, I'll go through a mini physique phase. Typically, I'm just training mostly upper body, doing jiu-jitsu, probably doing jiu-jitsu about 5 days a week. Right now, I'm doing it 2 days a week, very charitably. And that'll be the plan. And then every now and again, I'll do an 8 to 12 week phase where I take my gear and ramp it to about 600. At 600, I know two things. It'll be a big change from 200, but psychologically, work-wise, IQ-wise, fluid intelligence-wise, verbal ability-wise, I'm sharp as a fucking tack at 600. Sorry to keep swearing. There's a kid over there. My best friend comes and lifts at the gym and he brings his kid. Kid's learning a lot, that's all I gotta say. Get her ready for life or something. So at 600, I'm Gucci, but 600 is very different than 200. And so what I'll be doing is transitioning from my regular 200 at which I kind of live life to 8 to 12 weeks of 600, where I'll be experimenting with calories and cardio. And I'm still gonna do jiu-jitsu the whole time, but really kind of crank up the intensity on the lifting, see what kind of body recomposition I can get. And if I can get to somewhere between 190 and 200, maybe, I'm just guessing, pretty damn ripped, then I'm just gonna keep trying to perfect that formula by going down to 200 for months, up to 600 for a few months, down to 200 for a few months. That allows me to do all my YouTube stuff, travel and collabs, etc., but also allows me a little bit of that grind, which I really love. And it's cool because every now and again, I'll get more ripped than ever And my goal will be to try to see how old man lean I can get. So I'm 40 years old right now. I got at least another 5 years of getting kind of weird, gnarly lean. I'm not gonna take any more than around 600 mgs of drugs anytime soon, probably ever, because fuck all that. But kind of see how well I can do. And if things look pretty decent at 600 at some point, then if all the RP stuff is slowed down, if the YouTube is slowed down, if not, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But if it's slowed down a bit, then I might consider coming back to competition, but then I'll do it the right way. And I'll do it with I'll get a posing coach, practice that huge, do all of the pageantry, all of the prep, all of the everything, and really practice peaking a whole bunch. And then hopefully we'll get it right. But that's kind of like a later thing. For now, I'm just really, really excited about getting an absurdly jacked upper body, becoming a huge pain in everyone's ass in jiu-jitsu, and seeing kind of periodically how lean I can get. So I'll diet just for the soul. It's not for competitions. In any case, that's kind of it. Let me see if I can say a couple more things in a little bit, but let me do a couple of sets here. Let's get into this tricep stuff. Then I'll pull off the shirt, let you guys see what kind of physique I'm sort of retiring my biggest physique ever. And this is 227 pounds. My next version of biggest ever might be like 190 or something. So this is gonna look kind of cool. And let's see what happens, all right? Christ. 25 reps. You guys will notice those are 2/3 lockout reps. And that's not to keep the tension on the muscle necessarily, because all the tension that you add up adds up over multiple reps and sets anyway. If you hit tension, break, hit tension, break, hit tension, break, it's largely the same effect as continuous tension. What this allows me is to have the vast majority of the work that I do on triceps in this exercise be work that is done at a lengthened muscle position. And we know that lengthened muscles put under tension elicit the most hypertrophy. And god damn, does that zap. My triceps are zapped. And so now I'm gonna start doing little mini cluster sets, myo rep sets. I have to match to 25. And at the end of that, I might do one set of just push-ups to the bar, get extra old juicy, and then pose for you guys. Or as my dad calls it, do your dance in bodybuilding. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, let's do this shit. 10. Twenty-one. All right, 4 and some push-ups. Oh. Oh, that's fun. All right. I'm gonna pull off the mic, pull off the clothes, get you guys your little peep show that you want. Fine. Look at my body if that's what you want. Uh-oh. Let's do it. All right, folks, so just did some posing. Hopefully you guys saw that. Maybe Scott will put it at the end of the video, if I know. Warming up, just one warm-up set of about 8 reps here with the seated dumbbell laterals. This is 15 pounds. I'm gonna be using the 30s. The 30s, I have a MyRep match, 2 sets. So one set, I believe 26 reps is the goal. And the second set, it's however many MyRep sets I need with little breaks to get to 26 total reps. So plenty of volume. Let me get this warm up going here. That feels nice. All right. Return that, come back with the 30s, put on my Versa grips, of course. Wait, check it out, guys. Yeah, fucking yeah. The gym says 26 reps. I don't know what the fuck that was. Let's find out how that goes. fucking burning. Six more. Holy round delts. That's kind of neat. So technically I got 20 on that first one. And then 6. So I'm gonna crank out another 14, that'll be 20. Honestly, I had 26 written down, I don't know what the fuck. So fuck it. Let's do another 26 total, see how many it takes me. I think usually I'll warm up with the 30s too for like 4 or 5, and that gives me enough oomph to would have gotten to 26, but no worries. We'll make up all the volume. So 26, but with as many rest breaks as I need. So you guys get to see full set, my rep set with minimal or no editing to see how the rest breaks go. Is that okay, Scott? So you guys can see what this looks like IRL. All right, 26 total is the goal. Holy fuck. That was tough. Oh my God, my delts hurt. 17. That's it. I'm gonna warm up for biceps. Show you guys what's going on there. We'll see you in a sec. I'll miss these, I guess. TBH, I don't know if I will. I've had big legs for a long time now. It was super awesome spirit journey to get big legs. Like the way there was amazing. Tons of challenges, tons of just like seeing visible growth, shit like that was dope. But in jiu-jitsu and in overall health of me weighing so goddamn much, 227, 5'6", the legs get in the way. Like I want a dope, jacked as possible for the lower gear and body weight upper body for sure. Cross my fingers on how well that happens. But I gotta get rid of these bad boys. They don't come in real handy in jiu-jitsu. They're way too big. So if I can slim these down, then I think we're into a cool look potentially, and very effective for jiu-jitsu. But everyone knows the most important muscle for jiu-jitsu is the biceps. Thus, I'm going to do a set of curls here, just one total rep number here. And once I'm done with that, that's the workout. Come back tomorrow, do some back stuff, hopefully chat with you guys again, and show off some cool back posing. Weird stuff that's happening back there. All right, let's do it. God damn, that hurts. I'm on the decline, by the way, in order to pre-stretch the biceps even more. It's a little annoying, but it hits, bro. That tension and length position, nothing fucks with that. Let's go, last 5. The most athletic dismount from a bench ever. I'm supposed to wrap it up. Done with competition for a while, because for it to be worthwhile, I'd have to put more into it as far as the pageantry side is concerned. And, you know, unfortunately, or fortunately, in the grand scheme, fortunately, got so much going on with RP and YouTube and trying to put out content that competition bodybuilders have to wait. I'm going to size down just by taking fewer drugs. And when I take fewer drugs, my appetite goes to the shitter, which is great. Come down to about between 180 and 200. See how things feel. Do an occasional decent phase of slightly higher gear. More of a physique emphasis. Blasting the shit out of shoulders and arms. It's going to be cool. And then seeing how it looks. And I'm going to be really clued in on priority specialization phase training. I've never specialized on my arms or shoulders a single time, or my forearms for that matter. So it's going to be a crap load of those specialization phases, chest and back specialization phases, all kinds of great content. I'll be helping you guys make programs with the RP Hypertrophy app, without the app, walking you through my stuff, and hopefully we'll learn some things together. And you guys go out there and make the back most jackedest and leanest versions of yourself. So is it tough for me to give up competing for a while? It sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Is it what I think logically is the right idea at this point in order to maximize my career success and my ability to help the world? Take myself too seriously, but getting more people in shape's good. Yeah, it's the right thing. So if you take any lesson away from this, do what you think is long-term a good idea in your life. You look back on it later and be like, thank God I did that. Sometimes you got to go for spirit energy, but sometimes it's no longer a good idea. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon for another one of these, and enjoy all the other great shit on the channel. Much more good stuff to come. Yeah.